Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbite, continuing our adventure on ships on coins. We've got a beautiful 1 ounce round here. This is the Rising Sun. It is 49 fines silver. You can see the black flag William Moody there listed, and you got a beautiful depiction of the Rising Sun in combat with another vessel. Now, I really like the depiction on this particular coin. It's very nicely done. I'm going to throw the thing back on here. On the reverse side, you see that it's 2022. We have the Queen Elizabeth. It is $1, and it is to the volume. Not sure what that means. Alrighty. So we'll take that back off and let you have a really good view of this. It's a gorgeous coin. I love the the depiction of the ship here fighting another ship. You can see the other ship with its torn black sails. It's just a fabulous looking coin. Now, a couple of things that I want to talk about with this particular one as well. So one thing about the Rising Sun was that prior to it being the Rising Sun, it was also a pirate ship, and it was called the Resolution. Now, this is not to be confused with HMS Resolution, of which there were many. There were quite a few HMS Resolutions that were designed, built, and sunk within a few years of themselves. They saw a lot of combat, had a lot of really good success. 70, 72, 74 gun, 3-deck ship. A lot of success. This one is not to be confused with those. I know sometimes looking through history and trying to identify some information, sometimes you'll see information that is just slightly wrong. But this particular ship was 36 guns and had about 130, 135 men. Now, its captain, as shown here, it was Captain William Moody. Now, Captain William Moody sailed under Christopher Moody. Christopher Moody had been a gentleman pirate prior to that and decided to break out on his own. So he captured the Resolution and then renamed it the Black Flag, the Rising Sun. And this image here shows the flag that was associated with William Moody. Now, this is not to be concerned or confused with Blackbeard's, whose was a single arrow, a little bit different, pretty much the same. The differences on this one between Blackbeard's was that 3 red dots of the blood were not there. Blackbeard's had a single drop and it had a singular arrow. So there is a little bit of a difference. The other one that was there was just a heart with an arrow through it. But those are the 2 flags that are associated with William Moody. Now, Captain Moody was reported to sail off the coast of Carolinas in and around 1718. His primary base of operations was the Caribbean and the coast of Africa. He was a British sailor, and he sailed in 1719. Now, there were a lot of rumors regarding him coming to the Carolinas, and because of that, there were reported information from Johnson's fleet, who was the governor of Carolina at that time, Governor Robert Johnson, who knew that if William Moody was to come to the area, he was most likely going to hold their captains hostage and burn their ships. Now, the problem with that is they relied on these warships for commerce. And so they wanted to make sure that they had some additional gunships and some greater military power. So they called to England, and the king sent out some extremely good war vessels and basically detracted him from doing too much pillaging in the Carolina area. Now, from there, he set out and went to Sierra Leone. Now, this is where Captain Moody's stories would change. As I stated before, Captain Moody was also known as a gentleman commander. He was a gentleman pirate, normally taught people or treated people with some sort of dignity. He had the code of Bartholomew. They held to that, and he was what they would call the gentleman pirate. Unfortunately, this didn't bode well, as his one of his crew members, Thomas Coughlin, and 25 other members would do mutiny, and they would try to take the ship over from him. Well, Moody was able to quell the mutiny, and what he did kind of upset the crew. So he took Coughlin and 25 other people and put them on shore and stranded them. But not only did he strand them, he took away their ability and denied them their shares of their plunder. Now, if you were a pirate, your whole duty at sea was to plunder, to get it, and then it was split amongst the crew. So to deny a crew their plunder was looked at with real disdain. Now, Frowd did not like this, and so he decided that he was going to repel that issue of Coughlin being treated so bad, and he ended up capturing Moody and 12 of his supporters, put him in a small sloop, and set him adrift. Now, they had believed they were going to be lost at sea. But it's very likely that Frowd wasn't the person that did this. Now, I don't know. The histories kind of argue here, because it's very possible that Frowd was actually not with Moody at the time. He could have been with Captain Snellgrave. There were other detailed accounts. But one thing is certain is that after disposing of Moody, the crew decided to elect Oliver les Messieurs. Now, if anybody knows anything about him, he was a pirate who quartermastered with, whose quartermaster was Palsgrave Williams, who had earlier been with Samuel Bellamy and had a really good rapport with Lavasseur. And what they ended up doing is, after they got rid of Moody, they went back and they picked up Coughlin and the 25 people that they had left there. Now, because Coughlin was known to be brutal and ruthless and vile and vulgar and rude and mean and just caused mayhem, he was reported to be the commander of the Rising Sun after the departure of William Moody. Now, that's about all the information I could find. Now, there are some other things that talked about the likelihood that Moody actually was not lost to sea. It's very likely that they went ashore and eventually, summoned the king in the pardon of 1719. And then from there, probably set his sights back to piracy, trying to find and attack other ships that were very much like the Rising Sun. But I really couldn't find any other additional information. So if this is a ship or this is a pirate that you're really into and that you have more information on, I would love to hear more about this story. I really enjoyed the ship. Again, the depiction on this coin is remarkable. I absolutely love this. Now, I've only got a few more series or ships within this series that I'm going to be doing, and then I'm going to change and shift over to another item, which will be released here in the next couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this is a series that you've got behind and you've really enjoyed the history and the stuff that have been provided to you. If you have any suggestions, I'm always looking for them. If you have a suggestion on a series that you would like, please let me know, because again, I'm always looking for information in which appeases the viewers of my channel. Another thing that I would like to say at this point is I'm only about 75 away from 1,000. So if you could please share this video, share out the series. One thing that I'm going to do, hopefully that I can get to 1,000 before the Tulsa, Oklahoma coin show, is to give away a gram of gold. So if this is something that interests you, please share widely. Tell people to comment that you referred them to this video. And if I can get 1,000 on this video, then I want to randomly draw somebody's name to win a gram of gold. So please check that out. Subscribe, share, comment, like, go watch my other videos. I would really, really appreciate it, and it'd help the channel out a ton. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbite, and as always, Have a wonderful day.